All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here, and we have Alan back with us this week. It's awesome to see him, and we'll get an explanation of why he was gone last week. Because from what I hear, it's pretty damn good. Before we get there, though, Chris, would you do the Pledge of Allegiance for us?
Yep. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance.
We lose audio.
I think so. Something happened. He's trying.
All right. Well, while he gets it figured out, Mr. Hotpot, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, sir?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right, Alan, what's happening, man? What's going on?
Oh, man. Good times in my world. Last weekend, I walked into a store, was looking for a particular pistol, didn't find it, found something else instead, and decided that's what I actually want. Well, I went to another store across the street to see if maybe they have the same thing at a different price. They didn't. So I came back to this other store. Now, considering that I was going to be buying a pistol, buying a red dot, buying a light, it was going to be a little over a couple of grand, whatever. I was like, okay. I walked back up to the counter. The same guy is behind the counter. And I'm looking at red dots now to see if they have the dot that I want. Well, they do. I'm like, yeah, that one there. I'm going to end up taking that AGX on the other side. He goes, well, I can't do that. I'm like, why not? He goes, oh, well, we close at this time, and we close at like 6. I'm like, okay. Well, it's like 5:30. He's like, oh, well, background check takes a while. And I said, no, it don't. It take like 10 minutes at most. Well, with all the paperwork and everything, oh, you mean the 4473? Yeah, I'll fill that out blindfolded. It'll take me like 36 seconds. Well, yeah, well, my boss doesn't want me to go into overtime or anything like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go tell your boss to, suck it. So I end up going up to the customer service counter and waiting inevitably for the store manager to show up. And it's this little tiny, almost spherical woman who apparently appeared to be sort of nervous to even speak with me. And I was just like, yeah, I'd like to know why your sales associate is turning down over a $2,000 sale because you guys are supposedly closing at 6:00. Oh, well, what department was it in? Said, does it really matter what department it was in? I mean, okay. It was a pistol, and it was a dot, and it was a light. So, what's the deal? Oh, well, it takes a while to do the background check, and I get all the same horse shit from this gal. And I'm like, it's a 10-minute process, lady. I can fill out your form in 30 seconds. You got my permit. At most, it's a 10-minute process. Oh, well, we're not processing any firearms sales after 3:00 today. Wait a minute. So now all of a sudden, yeah, there were signs. You didn't see them? I said, no, there was no signs. Well, I don't know why the sales associate didn't have the signs up. I go, why would you have somebody working the counter when you can't sell the items that are in the counter? If you're not going to be processing the sales, why do you have personnel working the counter? That makes no sense. Oh, well, yeah, we weren't supposed to be selling after 3. I'm just like, you know what? Eventually, I was just like, you guys are pretty damn dumb. Because you had plenty of opportunity. If you want to lose my $2,000 sale, you can suck it. Thank you. Have a nice fucking evening. But by that point, I still wasn't going to be able to get home in time for the show. Because I was
That's
really
crazy.
looking to pick up something. And so I went across the street and I ordered what I was going to pick up at that store at another store.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
All because they wanted to go home.
Wow.
I was just like, fine. You know what? You guys will not get my business again. Thank you. Have a nice evening. Suck it.
When I was working a gun counter, it could be 5 minutes to closing. Whatever. If I was even in the process of just starting the paperwork and they knew I was going to screw it up and I'm the guy behind the counter, they would still run it and keep the gal who was running it in the computer and keep a cashier downstairs to get that customer what they want.
Yeah, I'd be there half hour, 45 minutes after. I'd send everyone else home and take care of the customer, take care of the few people working there still with me, and that was it. You know, I'd get the rest of the store shut down, get the rest of the people sent home. We'd stay, finish the sale. Doesn't matter. Take care of the customer, man. You don't fucking $2,000 because they're cunts and want to go home.
At the end of the day,
and
the
then
end of the week.
turn around and bold-faced lie to me. Oh, well, we weren't processing any gun sales after 3 anyway. I had a Scrubs moment where I backhanded the woman in my mind. And just like, wake up, lady. But no, I was sort of livid, but I was more disappointed. So I just said, screw you guys. We'll just head across the street and order what I want and not give you my money.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, and if you think about it, they've lost more than $2,000 because they'll never see your business again. So
Absolutely, they will not see a penny out of me. I won't. I don't care if that place does eventually get stocked with primers. Okay, maybe a little bit.
if that's your only option, but yeah, I get it.
My only option, I might do it begrudgingly, but
Well, with that beard, just dress up as a Jewish rabbi when you go in.
I'll just have to get a couple of curls to wring out of my yarmulke.
Oh boy, Matt, he can say what he wants in the side chat, but you know what? My first PO1 Omega I bought, Scotsman knows how much I paid for it. I had to pay $20 more than what the store cost was. and it was a new gun that a guy brought in and sold back to the store. I doubt if it even had a box of bullets into it. The oil and gun grease and stuff, everything was still in packaging.
So how you doing, Daniel? You feeling better?
Oh, a lot better. A lot better. I think I'm finally over all this here, getting strength back, getting endurance back. That last bout, literally, it did kick my butt. But I'm glad to see you guys are doing good.
Good to see you back, man. Good to see you getting healthy again. We'll get together probably this week sometime and shoot. I know we've already talked to 101, so Sunday is probably a go if you want to come up this way.
Okay.
But I'll let you know what time exactly.
All righty.
Kingpin,
just
how you
email
doing,
me.
man?
Not too bad. Good to see everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for having me.
Oh, good to have you, man. Hot Pot.
Thanks for having me, Scotsman. Greatly appreciate it. Nice seeing everybody. Man, just been living life, shooting guns, and trying to raise as little hell as I can.
There you go. Good deal. Good deal. All right. Side chat's starting to blow up pretty good there, Alan. You want to run through, see what we got?
Well, I suppose so. Being as how they came over all this way, paid their entrance fees and duties and taxes. There's the YouTube auditor, Eat a Bowl of Dicks. AR 17 gun 1776. Bobby Solar. Hey, Bobby, what's happening? Edward Petty, Alaska One, Andy, Firearms 101, George Washington, sir. Keith Gregory, Lakeview Outdoors, Ozzy Osborne, the Pops Quest, Redbird 491 just turned out the tack pack for this month. RTT Guns and Gear, Tacos and French Fries, Tactical Fud, Thoughts of an Old Soldier, Uncle John, Walter Davis, Wes S., along with others that I know YouTube is not showing me.
All right. Good deal. Good
Welcome,
deal.
everyone. Welcome. Thank you.
So you guys may have seen the picture and read the description, but this coming Friday, unfortunately, marks the 2-year mark since we lost Mr. Holster, our good friend, our good brother.
And I'm not wearing the shirt because you posted that. It's literally the shirt that I put on today.
So we'll come up with some stories we got of him, share some stuff, and remember him. And I'll probably get a video out later this week as well. But I figured we'd do it this week on the chat.
I don't know. So you want to talk about the themes of Gilligan's Island, or?
Yep, Pops. Time does fly by, man. Yeah, I couldn't believe it's 2 years already either.
It never seems like it's, any length of time. It doesn't. It's strange that way, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, I got up yesterday and realized what day it was. I'm like, holy shit. It's already here. So what's
You don't have to be rich to get into CZ. You don't. Now, get some of the higher end stuff. Well, of course, you're getting higher end.
Well, if you think
Unlike
about it,
the rest of us that don't have the budget that like Daniel does.
Well, herding goats does
Hey,
manage.
hey,
That is a nice side income.
That one cost me $320 a PO1 Omega. That PO1 Omega cost me about $650. That's comparable to what these Glocks are going for, and I didn't have to change nothing.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If you take the Scorpion and the Shadow 2 and the TSO off the table, all of CZ stuff is actually quite affordable and about the same price as some of the other main stuff out there. I, for one, learned something new a couple weeks ago. I had no idea CZ had such a large rifle category. I was shocked. My buddy was showing me on the internet. There's all kinds of CZ rifles out there. I've got a 22, but the only thing else I knew about was the Scorpion, and all of those rifles are very reasonable priced.
Well, Kingpin, take a look what he just said. He's looking at over and under shotguns. Okay, that's a different ball
Yeah,
game altogether.
you can get.
He's probably having internet issues.
Yeah, he's probably getting the circle of death.
Well, any over under shotgun's going to be expensive, right?
Yeah, any under over is going to be a bit pricey. I did see a case hardened CZ side by side that I was kind of drooling over looking at this dang thing in one of the stores that I was in. A just gorgeous looking shotgun, and they wanted $600 for it. I was like, that's definitely worth a $600 shotgun. Thing was beautiful. Yeah, the CZ actually has a larger line than most, and Lead Bullet Junkie, I kind of understand what you mean. Not a fan of the platform simply because of how skinny the slide is. With the slides being inner frame on some of them, all of them, a lot of guys feel the same way.
Well, Pops Quest has got it right. High-end CZs are the gateway to $1 million 2011s.
Pops, do they make that? Well, Scotsman, you guys probably know. Do they make the 2011s at a 45?
I don't think I've seen any.
Most of them are 9 or 40.
9 or 40. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a 45 one. Only 40.
That's a relief because my wife's wanting a 45 now.
Well, now you can get the Rock Island 45. That's a double stack.
No, she wants a CZ or a SIG.
Well, she needs a 97B.
I know. They had 3 of them 3 weeks ago, and in a 2-week period, they were all gone. And the guy at the counter said something about that CZ's not making the 97s anymore. I'm just hoping it's.
So right now, I heard they were putting it on hold again, which doesn't surprise me. So they do this every now and then. CZ will do that. They'll get a line going. It'll go really well. They'll stop it. They'll either make some changes or discontinue it and come up with something else.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's going to be another 45 from CZ.
Should we just get, Firearms 101 here on the chat? I'll drop out and let him come in because I'll admit it. He does have one of the best CZ custom collections around.
Well, we brought up Mr. Holster. Mr. Holster, what was his stance on CZ, Scotsman?
He liked them. He would poke fun just like a lot of people do. Saying about wearing this, wearing that, and he did that a lot. Especially if you go watch the sock show, he'd talk about some of that stuff in the sock show. That was a separate channel, but that was always good to have. That was always fun. But he generally liked most firearms. Didn't really have anything too bad to say. There's also the Ruger Ranger channel. That was another one of his, the Ruger Ranger. He was a huge Ruger fan. We all have our brands. But what's one gun that he inspired any of you guys to get? And same thing out in the side chat. You guys answer that as well. What's one gun that he inspired you to get?
Well, I can say in a roundabout way, AR pistol. Is I would have never bought an AR pistol for myself. I think they're neat and everything, and they're cool, but I just wouldn't have bought an AR pistol. But then when you did the It's All About Jack giveaway, and I happened to win, now it's one of my favorite guns. So that's kind of my roundabout way.
For me, it was a wheel gun. After watching a few of his videos, I ended up with a 357 Magnum.
Excellent. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Firearms 101's been getting into revolvers lately too. He's got a few he wants. When he gets into something, he goes big. He don't go half-ass.
Well, I got an assortment of brass, but I don't have enough of any one brass to justify buying another big revolver. So as I find it at the range and collect it, once I get so much, I'll buy the gun to match it.
I've done that many times. I've scored ammunition and not had the firearm yet. I'll figure out something later.
Yeah.
Wonder if he's got buffering again. You still there, Scottson?
I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay. I was being quiet because I thought you was calling out who you was going to ask next.
Go ahead.
Well, I already had the SP01, but a revolver. I want to get an old Smith & Wesson. And when I find the right one, I'll find the right one, but I'm not going to rush into just buying any Smith & Wesson.
Yep. Old school's the way to go. You know what caliber you want? 357, 44?
I just want to make sure it's one of the old school ones and everything is smooth. Like somebody's 686. You know what I mean?
Well, that's a newer one, but that's smooth.
That was a newer one?
That's a newer one, but it's still smooth. But
It was,
Yeah, if
yeah,
you
but
want-
the old, yeah.
you want the older stuff, depending on what you're looking at caliber wise. It'll depend on
Yeah.
the models and then stuff like that. But yeah, it's
That-
that's one of the newer ones that had your hands
Okay.
on.
Because, I mean, that thing was just boom, shooting out the X. And I shot yours here and we were, took that there at 50 yards and it was hitting the steel.
Yep, they're dead on. Yep,
Boy,
Chris,
that's
338.
that sounded more and more like a 686.
So I'm not in a rush on it until I find the right one. When I find the right one, boom.
Yep.
Just
An
go
odd,
straight
an,
up, just
odd, an
buy
odd
it.
caliber one that's really a really nice gun is the 57, which is a 41 Magnum. Lead Bullet Junkie's right. I love the 41 Magnum too. That's an awesome caliber.
I don't believe I've ever shot one.
It's the perfect combination of 357 and 44. you have just enough power behind it, and you don't have all the kick.
Is that why they call it a 41
Yep.
in between the two?
Yeah, but it's an excellent round, and the model 57 is just beautiful. I'm a little biased, but it's a beautiful gun.
Well, Chris 338 seems to like it.
What's up, Jamie?
Good morning, brother. How y'all doing?
Good evening, fine sir.
We're talking 41 Magnum, sir.
That is such a underrated and underutilized cartridge, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Daniel was talking, and we're talking about what guns that kind of Mr. Holster inspired you to want to get or get if you already have it.
Then I started talking about somebody's 686 that just wants to shoot out the X, and that's what must have woke you up from your nap.
Oh man, I'm walking dogs. I got boys in there watching the Super Bowl and trying to sneak to the store and get wife a Valentine's gift before she gets back. Guys, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Hey Andy, what's going on, buddy? I hope y'all remembered that, you guys that are married. And
Oh shit! I just spent all my money on that AGX.
It's a good thing you're married to yourself.
Let her shoot it.
Hey, I just got back. My wife and I, we did our Valentine's dinner and everything today because she has to be somewhere else tomorrow.
Yeah, she's coming over to my place.
No, actually, she's going to work tomorrow.
What?
Yep. Mondays.
Pops has got a good question out there. Speaking of beautiful guns, what is an ugly gun?
Glock.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't going to say it.
They all look the damn same.
What is an ugly gun to me is any gun that doesn't shoot the way it's supposed to.
I'm probably going to get some kickback here, but I'm just going to say it. And y'all might hate me for this, but bullpups, AR style shotguns, both of those to me are ugly. I'm sorry, but
There's a couple of bullpups here and there that I find interesting and like, but one of the things that I think is just fugly is the Chris Vector. I just think that thing is just flat out ugly.
The Chris
Yeah.
Vector is, I've shot it. I was not impressed. Everyone makes such a huge deal about the damn thing. I was not impressed. That thing malfunctioned quite a bit. Of course, you get all the excuses from the owner. But yeah, I was not impressed one bit.
Vector is ugly. You're getting some pre-dawn death says high point pistols are ugly. Their dang pistol caliber carbines are pretty ugly too, but they work really good from what I understand.
Yes, they do.
A friend of mine had one. He passed on now, but he had one in 45 ACP, and that was his bedside gun. He had those things have places in the stocks where you can hide extra magazines, so it was pretty cool, really.
Yeah.
There's guns and barbecue. Hot Pot, you're putting out more videos than I can watch, dude.
I put one out today with a new 300 blackout build, showing it shooting it unsuppressed and then put my suppressor on it.
There's Thor's axe. We can start now that Dave's here.
Well, you put one out with the red or the white and black kind of wear looking How did you end up doing that? Did you Cerakote it all white first, and then go over partial black, and then scuff that down, or
Oh, you mean my AR?
yes?
Yeah, that's just a battle worn black and white Cerakote. I'm really digging doing Cerakote. I mean, I've been an airbrush artist most of my life. I've painted cars, motorcycles, helmets for people. So starting to Cerakote's just kind of like second nature. It's kind of weird. But yeah, you just paint it white, then paint it black, and then there's a couple different processes you can do, depending on what you're looking for in it. Do you want it to look like you drug it behind a pickup truck for a mile, or do you want it to look like it's been smeared through mud and up against trees? You know?
Yeah, because even that look, I think, would work great with some camo colors.
Well, I did.
Guys that are like avid hunters.
Well, I did
I
it black
think
and white because I've got one of those AR style ugly shotguns, Jamie said, and it's black and white. So I use it for 3-gun. So I wanted my AR to kind of match, but I didn't want to twin it out.
Yeah. And the only reason I say that, Gene, is because the barrel's too big to be on an AR. You know what I mean? It looks like it looks like you've got Harley exhaust on a 125 dirt bike.
Yeah, but you should see something after you put 19 rounds of buckshot through it.
And you gotta love some buckshot. I ain't kidding.
It
Oh.
just destroys everything.
And semi-automatic too, man. And I imagine you can get different size, different capacity magazines for those, right?
Yeah, you on the stock sizes you can get 5, 9, and 19.
19 rounds of double op buck, 12 gauge at the disposal of your trigger finger would be, yeah, something.
I've done it.
Yeah, baby.
I had to.
And I will freely admit that, not to back down.
We had a comment out there.
I was just typing a response to that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
For me, hey, it all depends on the shooter. I mean, I know a guy who could put 10 out of 10 in the 10 spot at 25 yards. Well, it's the same guy that could consistently hit steel with a pistol at 100 yards, 200 yards, 300 yards, and 400 yards. And yes, it's on video and it's out there. But it all depends on the shooter and practice and skill that you develop yourself. I'm done, Alan.
All right, back to what I was going to say. Scotsman disappeared. I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think that the AR shotguns are as ugly as the bullpups. I just don't. It just seems like seems like the gun's built backwards. But that's just me. I'm a blued steel and wood kind of guy. I'm a fud. What can I tell you? But yeah, you would, Dave. You would, and I think Dave could probably put a quarter over 10 rounds at 25 yards with his revolver. Pop says 25-yard group 6-inch is top 10% of the world.
You have to make a video on that.
Offhand, of course. One hand.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, one-handed
No,
or
just
just
offhand.
offhand?
No bench rest.
Yeah, no bench rest. One
That's
hand
a-
or two hand, or however you shoot.
I'll make a video on that. See if I can do it.
Thorzak's does it one-handed, but that's the discipline that he grew up shooting. So yeah, I think us two hands would be, yeah, just offhand is enough. I think.
Thorzak's probably does it with his opposite hand on his hip, turned completely sideways, like the gentleman's stance.
I can see that.
He's a classy dude. That would not surprise me any. But he grew up doing that kind of competition and stuff. So he's pretty good at what he does, and can reload like crazy. So didn't we have a question out there? What guns has Mr. Holster inspired you to get or want to get? I'm wanting a single action Army and 45 Colt or something close to that. Maybe 44 Special, maybe 44 Magnum. I don't know. See, but the thing about that is if you get a gun like that, you're going to have a lever action to go with it. So 41 Magnum would be awesome if you could find a lever gun to go with it.
Absolutely. I want to pick up a lever action 45 Colt to go along the Wile E. Coyote.
You did?
I want to.
Yeah.
I got to find the right Henry.
One of them 1860 Henrys would be so cool with that handgun.
Yep.
So what do you mean? What do you mean the right one? Like, are you talking like Jamie was talking about a certain year? Because I mean, you just buy a Henry 45 Colt, right?
Oh, I'm talking like a hex barrel, and the whole 9 yards that they do, the real nice ones. If I'm gonna buy one, I'm not just gonna go with a plain black and plain Jane type one.
So you would get like the brass.
Yeah, something nice.
I love brass on a revolver.
You're not thinking about the case hardened one?
Yeah, it'd probably be a case hardened.
That's what I was thinking. I prefer the color case hardening on a lever action. And see, you have to decide at that point. Do you want the brass like the Golden Boy, or do you want the color case hardened?
Yep. See, and I know you can talk to them and have them do certain things for you as well. So it's always a possibility of mixing it up, but that's going to mean spending more money. But we'll see.
Did you see Chris 338's comment out there? He
Yeah.
has a steel Henry 41 mag to go
Yeah,
with it.
I don't know if they make it in any other one other than just the regular steel for that 41.
That's fine. I kind of prefer that. But only because I work with brass and I know how soft it can be.
Yeah. Yeah, especially like out here, it's with the humidity and stuff, it can be a pain in the rear end too. I know Daniel's got a couple. I don't know how much trouble he has, if any.
Keep them in a cool, dry place. Make sure you clean them, and every time you use them, oil them up nice when you put them in the safe or wherever. I keep a chamois that's soaked down with rem oil wherever I keep my guns. Like one will be in the safe, one will be wherever it's sitting. So if it gets touched, I just take that chamois and just boom, clean it off.
Troll time. Here we go.
Well, and crazy enough, that guy was already hidden from the channel. So I wonder why YouTube's even allowing that.
Yeah, see, I might do something like that, man. I might call him up, pick one up, and send it in and have him do some work to it. We'll probably get out and shoot Wile E. Coyote this week too.
I'm still dreaming, but I'm still thinking what caliber we want to go with. Do I want 44 special mag or 45 Colt and all that kind of stuff? So I know that the 45 Colt would be more of a traditional older cartridge kind of thing, but you know,
No,
Baldwin,
no, I wouldn't have never timed out RTT. Not me.
that 5 minutes seems like forever when you got something to say, don't it, Matt? I'm telling you. If you want to know exactly how long 300 seconds is, do a speaking engagement where you have to speak for 5 minutes when you're not used to public speaking. That can be an eternity standing up there in front of people waiting on you to say something. Val, I've always wanted a Smith & Wesson Model 3 or a Model 3 clone. But the more I study up on them and the more I think about it, that whole break action revolver thing, although it has its advantages and disadvantages, I think it's always going to be limited on the power by the design of the break action. I think if you've got a solid top strap on your revolver, you're going to be able to use much more of a powerful cartridge. That's why the Smith & Wesson Model 3 was chambered in 44 Schofield and 45 Schofield instead of 44, 45. What am I trying to say? 45 Colt, because that's the reason they didn't adopt it, was because they already had the 45 Colt ammo wouldn't work in the 45 Schofield because it was too long. But think about the advantages of a break action revolver that ejected all 6 empty cartridges at once when you're on horseback fighting. And then you put them, reload them, close it, you shoot 6 more times and pop. They all gone again. That for a cavalry detachment, that was solid gold. It had to be, man. Think about it.
Oh yeah, that made a huge difference in all the things that were going on. You know, I mean, when they came out with the 44 Russian and all that, oh yeah.
That you can't. Nobody can deny the cool factor, Bald and Curious. I'm telling you, that is they're not cheap though. They're not cheap. You get them to lock up tight and stay tight when you're firing. rounds. That costs a little bit of money.
Well, that's a good point there too. Like Jamie was saying, it has its advantages and its disadvantages. But they're definitely cool guns.
They are.
Well, RTT, if I did, that was completely unintentional, and I apologize, sir. Because I went back through the chat, and I'm not seeing anything. I don't think I did, but if I did, I apologize.
Alan,
Sir.
it's just sent me a message that you timed me out for 300 seconds too.
What'd you say, Daniel?
It said it just.
Oh, thank you.
Daniel, does it ever feel like the world is just against you sometimes?
First, Alan times me out for 300 seconds too because it sent me that notification. And then Scotsman mutes my mic.
Oh yeah, just go ahead, blame me. I'm doing all kinds of stuff.
It showed up right here that you muted me, and Alan
Uh-huh.
said thank you. Then it showed me you
That was
unmuted
probably
me.
Alan, because anytime Alan does something, it comes up as me because he has permissions to do all of that. Just FYI.
Look at that grin on his face. He did it.
I can barely keep my internet connection going right now, let alone mute you.
Do me a favor, Scotsman. Blow up AGX Pro.
Hang on. Working on it.
I want you to look at this gray. Look at this hair. The part. The shape of this beard. I'm telling you, the man is starting to look like Zeus himself. Is he not? Give him one more month till that hair grows completely down on the shoulders. Dude.
Alan, the longer the beard gets, the bigger your forehead is getting.
That's because the hair.
I've kind
the
of
hair-
noticed that myself. The forehead just keeps growing, but it's coming all the way around. So, I mean, there's no
the
separation.
hairline is
here.
moving down the face.
It's balance.
Yeah, you gotta keep the balance going on. If not, I don't want to be front heavy. That just looks weird. You're trying to run and you're all like that.
So you already have your Santa gig for this coming year?
Yes, I do.
I mean, there's extra money for guns, so.
Yeah, I'm hoping that when the gig comes around, I'll be as white as Jamie, but it would be even better if I had that RTT white going on.
Yeah, man, that's some stuff, ain't it?
You know he dyes it though, right?
No.
And don't just get that white. He dyes it.
Yeah.
No,
When I seen him, I complimented him. It's like, man, you have the nicest, whitest hair. Could you just answer me? Why is your roots even so much grayer than that?
I think if a man's going to dye his hair and his beard, it's not going to be white. It's going to be, more of his natural cut, more toward his natural hair color.
Yeah, but see, I don't think if he dyed it dark, it would look good on him at all. So.
And he's so modest too. You see his comment right there?
Right.
Self-impressed.
That's important, isn't it? Blue shampoo. I like that picture. But I'm hearing rumblings about old Sam there. I never thought Sam Elliott would turn out to be a liberal.
Hollywood.
I think Clint Eastwood and Arnold Schwarzenegger need to go have a talk with him.
Arnold Schwarzenegger turned into a lib.
No way, dude.
He doesn't give a crap about your rights. That's what he said. You
Yeah, he
people
didn't.
need to wear the mask and get a shot.
He didn't turn. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't turn into a liberal. He's always been.
Here, here. What is it about the Hollywoodists that are the heavy liberals? What makes them into that group? I mean,
The money, the mentality, and they're pushing a certain message that certain people want pushed. And if you're going to push that message, you're going to get hired and make the big money. The love of money.
just seems so over the top sometimes. You know, it's got me to the point I don't even want to go to a movie theater and pay to watch their movies.
I can't tell you when the last time I was at a movie was. Yeah, I can. It was when Star Wars, and I forget which one, but it's been quite a while. I never thought I'd forget the name of that picture. Anyway, it'll come to me in a little while. There's
Okay.
Mr. Clever Guns 50.
So far, RTT wins the side chat comment of the evening. I'm just a big hair American winning machine. I wake up in the morning and piss excellence. Yep. Nice quote, sir. Nice quote.
All right, that's a call out for everybody else out there that shoots SIG, CZ, what every other kind of gun. You cannot let a Glock guy take the top comment.
Well, I'm going to show something that is not a gun. Okay, YouTube auditor, this is not a gun. This is a frame. All right, just a frame. This is not a firearm. Okay, so bald and curious, I could put this in a box and send it off to you and let you check it out for a while. But the fact of the matter is there's no reason for me to do that at all. Just go buy one. You can go to the SIG site and buy the well worth it. You put that fire control group in from your X5. You put that X5 Legion slide on it. You're gonna thank me. You're gonna thank me. I mean, I am digging this frame.
I'm looking forward to seeing your video on it, man, when you get up and shoot it.
Well, I wasn't really going to do that. Make a video? What the fuck?
Well, you already made one the other week, so you got to keep following suit.
Oh, shit.
You started back up. Now you got to keep going. I mean, hell, it was what, 2 years before we saw her last time we saw one?
Yeah, it was, it was a few months here or there. No, that's probably going to happen after I get the dot. I'll just put that out there now. That's likely going to happen after I get the dot.
Yeah. Which dot did you get?
Romeo 1 Pro.
What size MOA on it? What size
I ended up actually going with the 6 MOA.
okay.
A lot of guys would go with the smaller ones. I ended up going with the 6 MOA. I haven't actually shot a 6 MOA dot. So if it's horrible and I want half the size dot, I'll strip it off and I'll put a 3 MOA dot on it. But for what this intended purpose for this particular pistol is going to be, I think the 6 MOA is going to be great.
Yeah, a lot of people like the larger dots because the small ones, it can be a real pain in the ass to see, especially in bright sunlight and stuff.
So
Yeah, in between the bright sunlight and the Romeo 1 Pro has a pretty large window on it. It's one of the larger windows out there. So I didn't feel uncomfortable getting a large dot. Compared to like if I was going to go with a smaller window, I would probably want to lean towards a smaller dot.
there's Uncle Jim. What's going on, bud?
There's my nomination for top comment of the evening.
I like New York Outcast better than that one. I'm here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum. So.
Doesn't Romeo have a 3 1/4 MOA? I don't know. I know they've got a whole bunch of varyings in the Romeo 1 Pro. I don't know what they're going to be doing with the Romeo 2s that everybody keeps talking about they're going to come out with. I haven't seen one in the wild yet. But the Romeo, I thought they had a 3. I thought it only went down to 3. I could be wrong. I know they got a 3, a 5, a 6.
Well, there you go. We got a bunch of good comments out there now. Hey, constant wire and piss napalm. Feel the burn, baby. God bless DuPont Chemical Company and napalm. We got Georgia fishing and trapping out there. Trapping and fishing, excuse me.
Nice. Yeah, I contemplated the Scorpion. I wanted to go full size.
We're about halfway
Been
through.
watching a bit of Uncle Jim there for a minute. Garage pops and all that.
Hey, if you can do them, right?
Absolutely. So, Alan, I think that was your cue to do the side chat thingy, man.
Yeah, we're about halfway through.
Yeah, I'm trying to get through this dissertation from Bald, and yeah, it very well might be. You know, that's one of the things that I thought of is with the 6 MOA, I can turn it down pretty well. But if it's going to end up being bright outside, I want the possibility of being able to crank it up. And once again, RTT comes back with one of the best comments of all time. Yep. The Tree of Liberty must be refreshed. So with that said, we'll go ahead and run through who YouTube supposedly says is out there. We can't always believe them, but we have the bald and curious one, Bernie Sanchez, Chris 338, Georgia Trapping and Fishing, Guy that comments, Jolson, Kingpin, Lakeview Outdoors, Leverguns 50, Michael Ray, New York Outcast. Okay, so Hip Park Crass. Okay.
Parkus.
I can't do that. Richard Collagen, RTT Guns and Gear, Tactical Flood still out there, Thor's Axe, Tim S, Uncle Jim, and Zeus. I haven't seen Zeus in a minute. Good to see Zeus out there. Yeah, lots of awesome comments. Gunpowder Beauty was out there a minute ago. Not sure if she's still there. She likes to hide whenever I come around, just like most women do. HIPAA is easier. Okay. And I'm sorry, James Pollard, and the sexiest man on YouTube, Mario Mosen's also out there.
Hey.
Hey, Mario. Uncle John.
So, Gene, you've been doing a lot of you've been turning out all kinds of videos in between the Cerakoting and comp shoots, and even I noticed that your current significant other turned out her first video.
You said current. I'm not getting a nice look.
Well, we all know how you are, so
I like this one. I like this one a lot.
I'll add to the fire.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, my first Canic I bought. You know, I've got so many rounds through it. It just feels so good in the hands. That's just one of those things I want to keep around for a while. But yes, I have been doing a lot of videos and stuff, and just
the more you shoot it, the looser it gets.
Oh no, you just get it broken in. You get it, and then until it just starts fitting you, and you know, the recoil is just so pleasant after a while.
Well, so is she going to end up developing her own channel that almost looked like an intro scene, like developing a logo kind of thing?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
He's bad.
Yeah, she just uploaded her first video on her channel. Doing really good with it, you know, learning the editing programs and which way to face the camera, and you know, making a YouTube just ain't as easy as it looks.
Dang, Mario. Sit there doing that in front of his lady, man. Unbelievable.
Mario. She only knew.
Hey, current wife. Mario, stop it. Stop it.
She's watching the chat on her tablet.
You definitely don't tell Mario to stop it. That just instigates him more.
I know. I'll be quiet. So, my wife is home. She went to see her brother. Doing well. He's getting better all the time.
Mario, that would be a big no.
There's Ramsey. What's up, Ramsey? Good to see you, buddy. So we're talking about Mr. Holster a little bit and remembering Mr. Holster. What's some of your favorite things that Mr. Holster said in the past? Phrases or skits that he's done?
I love his Jack skits when Jack is on the road. Or meet the brothers, like all four brothers. Three of Jack's brothers are in Vegas.
Yep.
Yeah, the Jack bits with the little comedy skits were awesome.
There was some videos that you would think he was getting ready to talk about something in particular, and he would go off about something completely and entirely different that had nothing at all to do with the title. There was one video that I watched that I think he went off for like 20 minutes about how he painted this extra blade for his tractor red and why he did it. But it didn't work anyway because he kept running into the damn thing in the barn because it was dark in the barn, and he painted it red so that he would try to be able to see it better, but it didn't work because it was black. And just, I mean, had nothing at all to do with the title of the video, but
Can I say something that I really liked about him is he understood the value of time. One of my favorite things he did was at the end of his video, he said, well, that's 4 minutes and 49 seconds of your life that you'll never get back. He understood, particularly after he got sick, that time is your most precious commodity. You're allotted so much by your creator, and you don't know how much it is. So one of the things I've been seeing posted a lot since we lost Willie, and it's true, is love the people God gives you because eventually he's going to need them back. So don't take an instant of the opportunities you get to share time with each other and the people that you love, because you don't know when that's going to be over.
Yep, that's right, Jolson. Jack was Mrs. Holster's dog. A lot of people didn't know that, but Jack was always with Mr. Holster.
Yeah. Mr. Holster was Jack's person.
Yep. That's it.
Well, we had this little puppy up in the road about, I probably guess 6 months ago. It was back during it was back when it was just first starting to get cool. So it'd been the fall of the year. There was a little puppy up there in the road. My son's getting ready to go to work, and he brings him in the house to make sure he doesn't get run over. And we find the owner. Well, anyway, this cute little puppy looks like a bulldog pit bull mix. He's now out in my front yard. His head is about this big around, and he weighs about 55 to 60 pounds, and there's not an ounce of fat on him. And yeah, I thought he was going to be the neighbor's dog. Well, guess whose dog he is now? I get up at 5:30 and walk him every morning and put him outside. he loves outside. He just when it's cold, now that it's cold at night, we bring him in to sleep, but the rest of the time he stays out in the front yard. And man, he's hard to walk. He'll drag you down if you ain't careful. He's a beast, man. Come a long way from that little bitty puppy. So yeah, I can understand how he would start out. Jack would have started out to be Mrs. Holster's dog and turn into Mr. Holster's dog.
Well, Jack was just too much to handle with all his gambling and drinking and stealing cars
And that phrase Mario used earlier for yeah. Was Jack like that? Was he a womanizing puppy dog?
Oh yeah, he hit the clubs too. He was a troublemaker.
Where he got in trouble wasn't.
Yep, that and playing poker.
so many laughs I've had watching Mr. Holster videos. It's countless. But I gotta admit, him talking about foreign and domestic, it still cracks me up every single time I watch it. For any of you that haven't seen foreign or that have seen foreign and domestic, I'm sorry. Just with as much of a straight face and sincerity as possible, and it gets me every single damn time.
I'll tell you, the one that gets me, it always cracks me up, is watching the one where he's talking to Jack, and Jack's saying, "I got pointy ears." trying to do stuff to help with a giveaway where we're doing, and talking about my pointy ears and my big nose and all the rest of it.
I never had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Holster, but I watched these videos, and what enticed me was his laugh. Just that dry laugh. And it just keep me watching.
And of course, I guess I connected to him because he likes the same kind of guns I do. The old lever actions and revolvers. Stuff like that. So Kingpin ain't saying much tonight. How you doing over there, brother? You all right?
Oh yeah, I'm good. Good to see you, Jay.
Good to see you, brother. Absolutely, Zeus. To the sunny slopes of long ago.
So do you have a favorite phrase or video you remember, Kingpin?
I was always a big fan of him making fun of you. And like Alan was saying, when he would apologize for anybody who has ever watched the show, I always thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, what was it? It's like sitting around a group of guys at a bar discussing the plots to Gilligan's Island. Just where he pulled this stuff out of left field was just amazing.
He was pretty good at not being popular. You know, some people, like we've all seen it. They get popular, and they get big. I guess we'll say he always kind of felt like he was talking directly to you, almost.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of his best traits, is the way that he would connect with everyone and draw you into the video. He always wanted to make sure that people were learning, and that was his biggest thing, man. That people would learn from it. That they would get something out of it.
I don't know if I can do that, Bald. Nope, can't do it yet.
Not yet.
Hey,
It's coming.
Scotsman,
Yeah.
did Alan ever go through the side chat again, or did I sleep through that?
Yeah, you
No,
slept.
it's been a
I
minute.
slept?
It's been a minute, and I can definitely do that again because we've had quite a bit of we got 223 DMR. Good to see you. Brian CW, Bald and Curious, Edward Petty, Firearms 101, Garage Guy 879, Georgia Trapping and Fishing, Gunpowder Beauty. That guy comments, James Pollard, Jolson, Michael Ray, the Tactical Fudd. Man, this thing is jumping all over the place. Thor's Axe, Tim's S. Vanessa Kitty, good to see you. Zeus. Yeah, it is hopping out there. Glad to see everybody out there tonight.
I'll say anybody that hasn't watched Mr. Holster's videos, do it. There's just so much out there.
There's a link in the description, and I know Kingpin's been throwing it up in the side chat too. And the sock show's in the description as well.
You just might learn something.
And if not, you might just have a laugh.
That's Scotsman's defense.
I don't
That's reason
care.
enough.
Hey, you know what? If you get a laugh out of my expense, that's all right. Perfectly all right with that.
So, Hot Pot, tell me, you doing all your loading for your comps, or you buying factory for your comps?
I'm doing all my loading. You know, I was set up before all the stuff hit the fan, and then I've ran into some other, fellow competitors and stuff that have stockpiled as well. So we do bartering and trading with powders and primers and whatever else we need.
Very
I know
good that you can still stay in that game and be able to play. It's
Well, like my Staccato and my CZ75, they eat the rifle primers, so that really helps. you know.
Yeah, that's staccato. I've heard nothing but good things about them staccatos. I would you what negative would you give the staccato?
That'd be a hard one to come up with because I really enjoy it. The trigger, the balance, the grip, just the smoothness of it. I mean, I understand it's an entry 2011. It's on the bottom end of it as far as manufacturing and cost goes, but it's wonderful. I don't have any cons with it at all, actually.
I know some of the staccatos that I've seen in cases, I'm just like, whoo, man, that's smoking. But I've never actually shot a staccato.
I'll pick one up.
I shot Rick's. It just it's covered. I shot his a few years back. Oh, it was probably almost 5 years ago now. It was nice. Nothing I would run out and buy, but it was nice.
Well, that was an ST. That was an STI. I've got a 21 Staccato, which is a Gen 2 Plus, where they did some modifications over the standard Gen 2.
Yeah.
So the 21 model really addressed a lot of issues over STI when they transformed to staccato. I had a friend that wanted to sell me an older STI, and I kind of did a little homework on it, and I declined just
Yeah,
because.
he had a lot of
Finicky.
problems with his.
Yeah, they were really finicky. Magazines were finicky.
Real picky on ammo. Real picky.
Yeah. Well, staccato's not, man. That thing, like I said, small rifle primers, those are available around where I'm at. It's the small pistol primers you can't get. So I've been stocking up on the small rifle and loading for the staccato and the CZ.
Yeah.
And those hammer fired guns just eat them.
Wait, did I hear you right? You're saying you can't get small pistol primers?
Around here, no, they're scarce, but the small rifle, you can.
Yeah. Well, you're farther down south.
Yeah.
The same here. I hadn't seen a small pistol primer since Moby Dick was in Mana.
I can drive an hour and go pick up some small pistol primers, but it's limited quantities.
Yeah.
So it's not even really worth the drive when I can hook on some small rifles around here.
Find a bunch of Amish that want to come up to the fin, throw them all in the van, and their cost is just say you got to buy 3 sleeves each for your ride. That'll get you some primers.
That might work too.
Well, what are you giving for small rifle primers out there?
$11 per 100.
Yep, 10 to 11.
It isn't terrible. I've seen some places have them a lot higher, so still not great, but not terrible considering some places are up there.
Bold and Curious small rifle primers here. I can pick up a brick of them for $75. Thor's axe is right on that one.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. Yep.
They're putting all their new primers in their fully built bullets because people are paying the high. They make more money on the whole bullet. Has anybody seen large pistol primers lately? I ain't seen them for over a year.
I just traded for a brick of them.
Yeah, I got them.
Are you buying them now, Jamie?
Large pistol.
Yeah.
No, I don't really need them. The only thing I got that I shoot large pistol primers in is 45 ACP, but I've not seen any of those. Mostly what we're seeing around here is small rifle and small and large rifle primers, and most time when you find small rifle primers right now, they're small rifle magnum primers.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I've loaded a little bit of everything and take it out and test shot it between the small pistol magnum rifle, and in the real world experience of shooting it, I didn't see hardly any difference between one end of the spectrum to the other in the hand, firing down range. Now on a bench test, maybe you're going to see a difference in it, but going out down range, I've never really seen a big difference. So
yeah, if you're
I just load and shoot.
like if you're tuning a load to try to reach out to 1,000 yards and you're wanting that standard deviation and extreme spread as low as you can get it, then you might see some kind of a difference. And it might even be better with a hotter primer or whatever. You just don't know until you try, basically what I'm trying to say. But get out there with a chronograph and compare the two. I don't know.
With the chronograph, I could see the differences, but just in the hand shooting, There's not enough of a difference to not use one over the other.
Well, what I've heard is, and I don't know because I'm not in the primer manufacturing business, but what I've heard is that the only real difference is the thickness of the metal on the cup in the cup.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that because a lot of my striker fired guns will not talk to a rifle primer. But with the hammered fire guns and one of my striker fire guns will. It just comes down to striker springs.
Right. So I think that's what you run into, mixing and matching. I don't know that there's any real difference in the actual amount of the stuff inside there that makes everything ignite. I think that's probably pretty much the same. I know that I know there's a thing in cold weather with some of the really small ball powders out there in small rifle primer cases, like for example, Starline made some 6.5 Creedmoor brass with small primers, and I think it would probably be about the same in 45 ACP. You know, y'all have seen those with small pistol with the small primer pockets as well.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets to be cold weather and you're shooting a fine ball powder, those have small primers have trouble igniting those small grain powders in cold weather. And you can you'll have hang fires and you'll have failure to fires. And when you get them back inside to your shop and you take them apart, what you'll find when you dump it is there's going to be a little chunk of powder that kind of gelled up right there. That it got hot, but it didn't get hot enough to ignite and set the round off. So beware of that if you're going to be shooting in cold weather using those really fine grain powders. You may need a little bit hotter primer, or you might need to save your small primer pocket brass for the summertime.
That's odd, but I actually had that happen to some 40 caliber that had a can of it. It ended up over in the corner somewhere, and it froze, freezing temperatures, and then it warmed back up. And I took it out, and I had a bunch of problems, a bunch of misfires with it. So I started pulling the bullets on a bunch of them, and I found the powder had like gelled up.
Hi, Dad.
Yeah.
You on YouTube?
So I ended up taking the entire batch and just pulling all the bullets out of the entire batch.
Well, the fix to that is not using small primer pocket brass, or either use a Magnum primer or a different powder. Your stick powders ignite fine because they have a coating on there that helps them get going. And yeah. So there's your fix. But
Yeah.
I watched the whole series on Johnny's Reloading Bench about that, and it was predominant in 6.5 Creedmoor because of the case capacity in the small primer pockets. But when he switched to the larger primer pockets to large primers, or used a Magnum primer, it wasn't as bad, and the large primer pockets eliminated it completely.
Yeah, when I pick up range brass, if I pick up any of that small pistol 45, that definitely I separate it.
We all do. We all do. You really need to separate those out before you start reloading it, because once you put it in your machine, you're going to have issues.
Why did they make different sizes? Why didn't they just make them all the same size?
Once again, folks, Kingpin for the win. Don't do stupid stuff, ammo manufacturers. okay, if it ain't broke, what are you trying to fix? The answer is we're trying to make it where we can do it cheaper. I don't know why. Is a small primer that much less expensive to make? I don't know. Maybe if you're an ammo factory and you're making your own primers, like say Winchester or whatever, you got that much less metal in a primer cup. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's part of what demolished Remington as a brand. The oldest gun manufacturer in the United States of America was destroyed by a bunch of pencil pushers rather than letting gun makers run the company. Am I preaching? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, AGX Pro.
No, I hear you. I'm agreeing with you.
No, you're not. You're not saying anything. You're dead silence up there.
I was off. I was off in the side chat there for a minute.
I missed your rant. I had to run to the bathroom.
Jamie, I was paying attention.
Sorry, brother.
I didn't know that small pistol primers in, say, the 45 in extreme cold weather has firing problems. I didn't know that. I just knew that 45, auto, they had large pistol primers, they had small pistol primers. Hey, I've got a box of both. Hey, to me, I was looking at it, okay, I got small pistol primers. I don't have any large pistol primers, but so I can still shoot 45 because I got them. So I was thinking, good. But now it's okay. Yes, it's winter. That could be leading into problems. Could I waste a whole bunch of small pistol primers? I don't want to waste them. So thank you for that tidbit of knowledge.
Well, I've not seen the problem actually materialize in 45 ACP. And Dave Thorzax reminds me that 30 carbine was loaded with H110, and it has a small rifle primer. It was used in World War II and Korea in the middle of winter. Apparently, they didn't have any problems. If they did, we've never heard about them. Yeah, it was 6.5 Creedmoor that we saw the problem predominantly in Johnny's reloading bench. And it had to do with case capacity and the powder he was using, which was, believe it or not, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, he was using that 6.5 ball stuff, that new powder. It could have been something different. It definitely wasn't H110, which is, all of those small powders, you're using those in H110 predominantly using 44 Magnum and 357 Magnum and, your Magnum cases, pistol cases, calibers, 500 Smith & Wesson, 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum, that kind of stuff. A Magnum primer in those is really going to help that situation. But yeah, it was mostly 6.5 Creedmoor what we were seeing. And it was my deduction for 45 ACP because it comes in large and small primer pockets, that it's possible that you could see that in 45 ACP. But I hear you, Uncle Jim, but the problem seemed to go away with the large primers. He eliminated the problem with large primers. But you think about 300 blackout, Mr. Pollard, and you think about 30 carbine, those are small diameter cases. You get a larger diameter case like 45 ACP, like 6.5 Creedmoor. Maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know. And this is all my brain going haywire, guys. Don't barbecue me.
You need a lab coat. That's all. Get a lab coat. Put it on.
You know, you don't know till you get out there and try stuff, guys. That's
Right.
why we're always loading something, trying something, going to the range and coming back.
And you know, things happen, man. There's off times. Something just happens. There'll be no explaining it.
Yeah, it's like, who would have thought 6.5 Creedmoor would be the inherently accurate cartridge that it is? And it's kind of like, put it in language AGX Pro can understand. It's like that Buick Grand National, that 6-cylinder car that would just flat out fly. It's like the whole equals more than the sum of the parts, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
Sometimes the stars just align and you hit that tuning fork and it makes a chord instead of a note. You know what I mean? Just hum.
Do that again, Jamie.
I can't do that again.
He just
It was unplanned and unrehearsed. That don't happen twice.
oh now wait a minute. You was at the Country Music Awards this past Friday, so we know that was your one line you had there.
Okay.
The Christian
You know-
Motorcycle Association, Country Music Awards. I don't know.
Yeah, CMA. Yeah, there's a lot of difference, but I see what you mean. But Uncle Jim's got a good point too. Sometimes it's not the size of the primer pocket; it's the size of the flash hole in the primer pocket.
Yep, I've seen that too, especially in 45. I got a good mix of brass at 45, so yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know. Being a 10 millimeter shooter, I just have no interest in 45.
That's just un-American.
You know, I bought that new TSOS PX9 duty model, and my FFL has another TSOS 1911 in. And as good as that Striker Fire TSOS is, I'm real tempted to pick up that 1911. You know, it's just, I picked it up, I ran it, it's smooth, trigger's clean, and it's got a really low price on it.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many issues with them over the years. If it's a decent price, I'd go for it.
The Thesis 1911.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, those can be had at $5 or less, right?
He's got one in the case. I think the price is just over $3.
Yeah.
It's a bare bones standard model, but it's still slide is smooth, the trigger is crisp. I'm out of the box.
Yeah, I'll probably be working on me a 10 millimeter. That's pretty fun too. Yeah, it's like it's kind of like a 1911 and your AR-15s. You know, you can get that mil spec for pretty decent money, and then you can start working on it from there. I have this ATI 1911 that's the agent size, the 3.25 inch, 3.5 inch barrel, 1911. And Willie shot it while he was here. He absolutely adored that gun. He was trying to figure a way to sneak it back. I mean, you guys got to watch Willie and Daniel because they'll be trying to sneak off with your stuff, man.
No,
I-
Willie just would set it somewhere else. I will take it.
The two of them were in a coup. I guarantee it.
I was just so disappointed. I wanted to steal Willie's leg so bad when I was down there. I wanted to get a hold of that for a whole afternoon.
That is wrong.
It's fun. Come on. I'd give it back to him at the end of the day, but you know.
Well, my friend Brad's got a prosthetic leg, and he'll go out and he'll pick out a T-shirt that he likes. You know, all these gun nut T-shirts and rock and roll T-shirts, and he'll have new legs made with that T-shirt in it.
That's pretty cool, man.
He keeps it interesting, that's for sure.
Oh wait, what he's saying? He would go in, try out some T-shirts, stuff it down in the pocket, and walk out with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah. Now, with those prosthetic legs, you can have anything you want molded into the piece that goes onto your stump. So you can have anything put onto that. So he would buy these whacked out T-shirts and have them put them on there, and some type of plastic urethane coating on them to seal them in.
Okay, so we'd put that in there, cut it out, he'd put it in, put the urethane over it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just thought he would just use that for shoplifting and stealing steaks out of Kroger's or something. I had a cousin who made prosthetic legs, and I think he was trying to talk people into doing that. But then some woman freaked out because both of this guys had blood dripping out down his leg as he left the store.
He had a meat stump. Thorzak says there is shooting, then there is shooting a 45. Yes, Thorzak, there is. I sold my last 45 that I had, and now I've got a 50 cal ammo can full of it, and I'm missing my 45 again. Maybe I'll go pick me up at High Point.
I just get that thesis you was talking about.
Yeah, I think I'm going to, Jamie.
That I mean, mil spec is mil spec. How bad can it be?
That's it. Well, plus it's really fun to take the shot and then watch the bullet eventually get to the target.
Yes. I mean, if you watch my videos and if you think that's slow-mo, it's not.
Yeah,
What are
but
you talking about 45 ACP being slow?
that's exactly what he's saying, Kingpin.
Yeah, he's complaining about being fat and slow.
You guys ever heard of the story of the two cows, the two bulls standing on top of the hill?
I have.
There you go. At 45 will get there in due time, and it's going to take care of business when it gets there.
No, if anything knows about fat and slow, that would be me.
And me. Throw old in there, and then I'm your poster boy. Oh no, Bulldog, I'm sorry, buddy. Our buddy is back. Bulldog's wife is at the emergency room, guys. So you guys that pray, throw one up for her. We hate to hear about anybody going to the emergency room. So, yeah. 1911 won 2 world wars, and there's that. I mean,
The Zeus talking about the dirt road.
Too, so.
yeah.
Zeus talking about the dirt road custom High Point. Yeah, that thing was shagalicious. The fur coating on it and everything. It just if you've never seen Dirt Road's video on the high point, I urge you to look up Dirt Road and find that video. I don't have a link for it or anything like that, but it
Well,
did actually make me kind of want to go out and buy a high point and pimp it like Dirt Road did. A number of people have. We've seen gold high points with silencers on them, and
You see the one Full Head Taco did? That he had the sights on the side of it, so you could shoot it like that.
he was all gangster about it, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was
yeah, full lead's gold pimped out high point. That's classic stuff, man. Absolutely classic.
I'll tell you what, I can pick up a JHP 45 high point for about $1.50. Maybe I'll pick that up and do a wacky Cerakote job to it just for the video. Give us some cheetah print or something.
45 is a great caliber, man. I didn't really get into 45 until Mr. Holster sent me a 1911, and then I won the one from Bald and Curious. Yeah, I'll tell you, man, I'm glad I got both of those. Those are both pride possessions for me. Love shooting them.
And I have shot both of those pistols, and they're absolutely phenomenal. Not that I don't like 45. I do like 45. I give it crap because 45 guys are almost as stodging as Glock guys.
I almost went home with Scotsman, that Moulin Abe, he won from Ball twice, that close from keeping it at the house.
so.
That is no BS.
You got to watch Daniel, man. He's sneaky.
Brian CW put out there that our buddy over at Stewart County Ballistics is in the hospital with pneumonia, and he needs a few prayers too. And he also says that if those high point carbines come out in the late 60s, early 70s, when Planet of the Apes come out, they would have sold millions of them. He ain't wrong.
No, and they actually sell stocks to put all the action into that kind of looks like the Planet of the Apes guns.
I'm gonna go back and watch that, at least the first one, if I can stand it. Because y'all know I'm just sitting there at work fixing Chromebooks, and I'm putting just about anything on YouTube and watch it. Planet of the Apes might be good, so might not be good. I remember not wanting to watch it when I was a kid when they first came out.
I watched one on Netflix, and now Netflix keeps popping up all the other Planet of the Apes. So
Yeah.
it's hard not to click on them. It really is.
Duck, duck, go, guys. Duck, duck, go.
Who doesn't use that? Use DuckDuckGo, Jamie?
I'm starting to. I've used it a couple of times, and the reason is when we do our searches online, even in YouTube, whatever, you got to remember YouTube's owned by Google. You do a Google search for anything, it's you start getting ads for anything and everything related. It's pretty bad how they spy on what you do on your computer, so they can streamline stuff that. All right, let's just put it like it is. Their goal is to extract as much money from you as possible, right?
Absolutely. Which is why I have DuckDuckGo on the laptop I'm on, my PC, my phone, everything. And I don't see all those ads anymore. All those ads went away.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing, and I'm gonna when I'm at work where I can't use DuckDuckGo, I'm gonna open an incognito window.
Search something simple like This Simpsons on Google, then search it on a different search engine, and you'll get different results. That's another thing about Google is they're gonna suppress a bunch of the information that they don't like. Not that they
Well,
won't have it on their site, but it's the top story is not going to be their top story unless they approve it.
well, they also have paid promotion stuff too. So a lot of companies pay them to put it up first.
Well, now DuckDuckGo will not allow you to go to a lot of different sites because of the security risks. So it will stop you and ask you if you want to go back to safety or continue because of the tracking apps. So DuckDuckGo actually starts warning you about things.
It's the same old argument that everybody always makes when we have these tech conversations. Oh, Google's the big boy on the block. Google's where everybody's at. Yeah, I know. So was Kmart. So was all these other things that don't exist anymore. YouTube is the biggest guy on the block. It's really the most user friendly because this is what we've used for 20 years. But when like Uncle Jim and CW, it's great that everybody went and subbed to their B channels here on YouTube. But you got to go over to Rumble and Odyssey and BitChute and sub them and watch them over there. If you allow the big guy on the block to be your master, it always will be. There's plenty of other platforms out there that are huge and getting bigger and better. There's all kinds of problems with them, and all of them are about censorship. All of them. But you don't have to be, handcuffed to YouTube if you don't want it.
Yeah, but you know what? Thanks to YouTube,
It's very true.
I've met all of you and the side chat.
Yeah, I mean, I understand all that. It was great while it lasted, but this doesn't have to be where it ends. All those people that you met here can meet you over somewhere else, and there's a bunch of other people you can meet there too.
Which is why I'm glad Jamie did the spreadsheet, because all my name and all my information's on there. If anybody wants to contact me, feel free.
I'm still getting requests for that. And we're up, last time I checked, we were up to like almost 40 people on there. So
I think we're past that now.
for real,
I haven't looked at it in the past few days, but
Give me a minute, I'll punch it up.
we're getting close to the end here, guys. I do have to work tonight, so we'll start going through the room. Daniel, what you got, man? Final thoughts and final word on Mr. Holster.
Love the guy when he was around. I didn't get to meet him, but I got to watch a lot of his videos. And when he had, I was able to watch it the same day he released it. And he would interact with everybody. Just a great person. When Scotsman comes down, I have some special targets. I don't know, some of these gold-plated commemorative coins.
Okay.
So, didn't know what's on the other side of it.
Yep.
You'll just have to watch the Scotsman when he's here. They're excellent targets.
Nice. I got something special for us too. You'll like it. We'll have something pretty cool too. Kingpin, what about you, brother?
Kingpin.
Sorry, I was over on YouTube typing in the chat. I just dropped a link for a channel that I did a shout out video for. The channel's name is Firearm Specialist. He's a young kid, really energetic about firearms, and I think he makes great videos. So go check him out. And then I'm going to also drop a link to Guns and Barbecue's channel. He's going to be doing a basic hangout chat for a while tonight. So when you guys are done here, head over there. Thanks for having me. Good to see everybody.
Always good to have you, man. Appreciate it. Jamie, what about you, brother?
I just love that refrain from the sunny slopes of long ago, and that is 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 30 seconds of your life that you will never get back.
Never, ever get back.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a fun time hanging out with you guys on Sunday night, and I appreciate it. Check us out Friday nights on the Georgia Shooting Connection channel, 8 o'clock. Thanks for having me. And we are up to 44 folks, Scotsman.
Nice. Good deal. All right. Hot Pot, what you got, brother?
Oh, just thanks for having me. God bless Mr. Holster and all of his hilarious, funny, informational videos. I still go back and watch them on time to time just to see him again. What's going on? Just making videos, working, and taking care of life. Thanks to the side chat tonight. Appreciate everybody being here. And back to you, Scotsman.
All right. Thanks for being here, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, we've got a great chat tonight, guys. Lots of good comments out there. Lots of good conversation. Remembering Mr. Holster. I think one of the best ones for me was the first time he came out and called me the Weasel. And in talking to Mrs. Holster, that's quite the thing to earn. So I'm proud of that, and I'll take it all day long. So with that being said, I'm going to throw it over to Alan to take us off, right?
Oh, yeah. It stole it from me, Jamie. Yes. That'll be 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 12 seconds of your life you will never get back. But thank you. Thank you all for coming. Side chat's been absolutely popping. Had a great panel tonight. Probably if I can, if work allows me, I'm going to get out and put some video in the can. So I might be coming out with something, might not. You'll just have to be in tune to find out. But until then, shut the fuck up, bald. Until then, keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!